One of my subscribers asked me a little while back, I think he said that he was looking into Terence Hughes fragrances. Can I recommend 5 masculine leaning fragrances from his house? So today, ladies and gentlemen, that is what I'm going to be doing. Stay tuned. What is good, YouTube? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mikey Cologne. You all know that by now. Thank you very much for tuning in. That is right, I'm going to go through 5 fragrances from the house of Terence Hughes, and all of these are stunners. They really are. I mean, Aaron does great fragrances. He does great work. His blends, he just knows how to create fragrances. But before I do get going, if you do enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button. It is completely free. Always press the bell because it will notify you when I drop a review at a later date. Plus, if you're interested in any fragrances from the house of Unique Luxury, it is a niche fragrance house. I have a discount code. When you go onto their website, obviously put whatever you want in the cart, and where it says promo code or discount code, put in Mikey-Kute23, and that will give you 15% off your order. I don't earn no money for this. I always say this, and I just want to make it clear that it is there for you lot to save yourself 15% on Unique Luxury's website. Right, I'm not going to waste anybody's time today. I'm going to dive straight into it. First off, I'm going to start with a bad boy fragrance, and this is coming from his personal collection. He has 7 fragrances in his personal collection. This is obviously one of them, and every single fragrance in that personal collection is at the parfum concentration. The rest of these that I'm going to talk about are extrait to parfum. But first off, we're going to go with, and I'm not going to say the name, but I'm going to show you the bottle. This, my friends, is dirty. It is sweet. I'm going to get into it. This stuff, when it first opens up, it is powerful. It does pack a punch, and it fills the air. You got raspberry, saffron, jasmine, leather, cedarwood, patchouli, smoke, cocaine. There is no drugs in this fragrance. Pheromones, synthetic tonka musk, ambergris, accord, and fake oud. Now, as soon as this opens up, it is fruity. You get that raspberry straight away, but with this immediately, you get that leather. You get this dirty, sweet jasmine that is thrown into the mix. Now, with all this going on, like I'd say after about a couple of minutes, then this smoky quality comes through. At first, it isn't noticeable, but after a couple of minutes, that starts coming through. Then with this, you get the smell of cocaine. And don't ask me how I know this, but I'm telling you, in the background, there is definitely something there that is reminiscent of the smell of Peruvian marching powder. Now, I do not know how he's created this accord, but hats off to him. With all this going on, you got the patchouli, you got the oud, so this darkens, or these accords darken the fragrance up. Plus you have the leather as well. The longer this sits, that smoky quality does come through, then it takes a back seat. Sort of in the dry down, the oud here is very minimal on my skin. The fake oud, very minimal. I mean, I get little snippets of it, and it's nothing dirty. It's nothing barnyardy. I would say what's dirty in this fragrance is the jasmine and the leather. That jasmine gives this a little bit of a dirty edge alongside the leather accord. Plus you have the saffron, so you do get some spice up top as well. It's a great fragrance, definitely masculine. Now, this is for cooler weather. I would not go near this on a hotter day. It is going to be too much, especially in the opening when everything's changing and it's getting darker and the patchouli, the oud, the leather, the smoke is there. It can become a little bit cloying in hotter weather. So cooler evenings, I would wear this, definitely dressed up. But anyway, that is And that is the first fragrance on this list. Up next, we have a fresher offering from Aaron, and it is Guapo. This is a beautiful fragrance. This is fresh, this is citrusy, this is mass appealing. This is an easy fragrance to wear all year round in my own personal opinion, but in the heat, it blossoms. You've got bergamot, lemon, sweet orange and mandarin, Granny Smith apple, tonka, radiant woods, amber, ambroxan, sandalwood, Haitian vetiver, ambergris and white musk. Let's spray this. The opening of this, the whole fragrance. Man, this is good. It really is. The first thing you will notice, or what I notice, is that lemon. Then the sweet orange and the mandarin, and they pop off my skin. So it's juicy, citrusy, fresh, bright. Then after about a minute or two, the Granny Smith apple starts coming through. Now it really is turning fruity. But with this, there is a little bit of spice up top. Now, what I also get in Guapo is a minty touch. There's definitely something minty to this fragrance, but there is nothing listed in the note breakdown suggesting so. But to me, it's minty, it's fresh, it's citrusy, it's fruity. Now, once you start settling in, the ambroxan, everything starts turning woodsy, a little bit aromatic, a touch green, I would even say. And the ambroxan and the ambergris in this fragrance, or to me, they keep this fresh all the way through, because up top, you've got that citrusy, fruity freshness. But then the longer it sits, it stays fresh. And that citrus and that Granny Smith apple does linger for a little while, especially into the mid. But I think that ambroxan and the ambergris just keep it fresh all the way through into the dry down. The longer this sits, it does get a little bit musk heavy. The woods do dial up quite a bit. There's always a little bit of sweetness in the fragrance. The vetiver in Guapo does shine from mid to dry down. Now, the vetiver here is clean. You don't get nothing smoky, you don't get nothing earthy, you don't get nothing damp. I don't know how he's managed to do it, but you get the aroma of vetiver, but it's completely clean. Again, I think the ambroxan and the ambergris has a part to play in this. But this is a solid fragrance, definitely masculine. You can dress this up, you can dress this down in a white t-shirt, you can wear this to work, you can wear this to the gym. It is a versatile, mass appealing beauty. Simple as that. But anyway, that is Guapo. And you're going to get 7 to 8 hours of longevity. Now we're going for something a little bit darker, or quite dark. This is Oud. This stuff slaps, especially in the opening. You only need a few sprays of this fragrance, and there's more than Oud going on with it. This is rich, this is a little bit elegant, it's dark, it's mysterious. We're going to get into it. You got rose, sweet orange, date, raspberry, amber. You have Thai Oud plus Burmese Oud, benzoin, patchouli, sandalwood, vanilla, and ethical ambergris. Now, at first, on my skin and to my nose, the Oud is playing second tune, because what you're going to get is a jammy rose along with a fruity quality. Now, the raspberry and the date, I believe, is bringing out that jammy side to the rose. Now, after a few minutes, this is when the Oud really starts to become present, like it starts making its way forward. I start getting smoky touches. Obviously, this has a woodsy side to it. It is musky. Now, the longer this sits, the jammy side to that rose dissipates. Now the rose starts coming across a little bit earthy and stemmy. The fruits start making their way into the back. The Thai Oud is keeping sweetness into the fragrance. I believe the Burmese Oud may be the darker of the two, whereas the Thai Oud is coming across a little bit musky and sweet, and the Burmese Oud is coming across smoky, earthy and woodsy, and obviously the Thai Oud is woodsy. But I believe them two are sort of neck and neck in the fragrance as it's drying down. So you're getting all different facets from these two types of Oud in the fragrance. Now, The dry down on my skin is completely about oud, but it is a little bit resinous. You do get balsamic touches and you definitely get the vanilla. The vanilla does come out the longer this sits on your skin. At first, I get no vanilla, but when it goes from mid to dry down, that is when the vanilla shines and that ambery resinous quality does come through. This is a great fragrance, and like I say, there is more than oud to this. Yes, the name is oud, and some people might think this is going to be an all-out oud fragrance. It isn't. There's lots of chops and changes in it. And I tell you what, the oud in this fragrance isn't skanky, isn't barnyardy. I would say I get an ever so slight touch of funk from one of these ouds, but it goes no further than that. Like, this is not a fecal fragrance. It really isn't. It is well done. And like I say, there is a real richness to this and it has depth. But anyway, that is oud. To me, this leans more on the masculine side, that smoky, earthy quality that this fragrance does have. But a woman could pull this off. I think with oud fragrances, if you enjoy the note of oud, doesn't matter what sex you are, just wear it. It's as simple as that. Great fragrance. Up next, we have Daddy. This thing is a beautiful fragrance. This deserves some hype. There's a lot going on with this. We're going to get into it. You've got apple, bergamot, tonka bean, nutmeg, smooth oud, sandalwood, patchouli, vanilla, benzoin, ethical ambergris, and clean skin accord. Now, if an oud fragrance could be mainstream, this would be one of them, because the oud in this fragrance is definitely smooth. This opens up citrusy, fruity, sweet. It opens up creamy. I get this chocolatey aroma that comes through. No chocolate listed in the note breakdown, but I'm getting something that's almondy, chocolatey, gourmandish, along with that fruity quality. It goes hand in hand. Now, as it starts drying down, the patchouli and the oud start darkening the fragrance up. And the longer this sits, the smoother and smoother and the creamier it goes. It goes to the point where it nearly comes across as buttery. This does go balsamic. You do get vanillic touches. So there's a lot going on with this fragrance, and it goes through stages. That fruity quality does go through into the mid. And then when it starts heading into the dry down, that completely dissipates. This is when that chocolatey aroma is now faint. Now the oud has come through, and the oud here adds depth. It adds a richness to the fragrance. It adds structure to the base. The patchouli is a little bit woodsy. You have the sandalwood. It's a stunner. There's no doubt about it. This is a sexy fragrance. This is for when you want to go on a date night. If you're, say if you're going out with a group of friends and you want to smell the best, try Daddy. Because if they don't know about Terence Hughes, they might be wearing Dior Sauvage, they might be wearing Bleu de Chanel, they might be wearing Mont Blanc. But if you're rocking this, you're going to stand out. There is no doubt about it. But anyway, that is Daddy. 8+ hours longevity, solid projection for the first hour and a half to 2 hours. You always have a nice scent bubble when you wear this fragrance. This fragrance needs no introduction. If you've been following me for a little while now, you know that this is my favourite fragrance from the house of Terence Hughes, or all the ones that I have tried and own anyway. This is Homme. What a masterpiece this is. This is his 50ml bottles, extrait to parfum. Let me just show you his cap. That you got the little crystals and his logo in the middle. Great atomizer, pressurized atomizer. Oh my God, right. You've got Valentino Uomo Intense, which is Valentino's take on Iris. Then you've got Dior Homme Intense, which is Dior's take on Iris. Then you have Terence Hughes' Homme. Now, this takes the cake any day of the week. It really does. I love them two fragrances that I've just spoke of, but this is an absolute gem. And the way he's worked the iris in this fragrance, chef's kiss. It really is. You've got Oris Concrete, Amber, Tonka Bean Vanilla, Sandalwood, Cedarwood, and White Musk. Not an overly complex note breakdown, not an overly complex fragrance. As soon as this opens up, you get that Oris. It is buttery, it is smooth, it is semi-sweet. Along with this, it's a little bit balsamic. You get this creamy quality coming in from the tonka bean. Then you get the vanilla, starts drying down, a soft woodsy undertone comes through, and the fragrance is cuddled in a bed of musk. And the way the iris or the orris is worked in this fragrance, 1 minute it's waxy, then it's buttery, then it's a touch lipsticky, then it's smooth, then the fragrance is always creamy. It is a sexy, stunning piece of work. It is as simple as that. If you enjoy the note of iris, you are going to fall head over heels for Homme. This fragrance, I hope, never gets discontinued. I wish I had a lifetime supply of this fragrance, because if someone said to me, which fragrances would you keep out of my fragrances, the first fragrance that would come to my mind is this. That's how much I love this fragrance. The sweetness is just right. The buttery, the way, I could pipe on about this fragrance. And as you can see from my reactions, I get excited when I talk about this. I love it that much. But anyway, that is Homme from Terence Hughes. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is 5 fragrances that do lean a little bit more on the masculine side. Some are completely masculine. To me, Homme is a unisex fragrance. I think a woman could pull this off as well. But because of that woodsy side to the fragrance, I think it just pushes it over a little bit more onto the masculine side. But remember, that's my own personal opinion. But all 5 of these fragrances are stunners. They really are. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I just want to say to the person that dropped the comment a few weeks ago, I hope I've helped you in making your decision on one of his fragrances from his house. You could have gone with Legends. You could have gone with his newest release, or one of his newest releases, Blue Fever. That is another great masculine fragrance. You could have gone with Supernova. There is quite a few fragrances, but you asked for 5 and I delivered. And all of these are stunners. Right, ladies and gentlemen, which is your favourite fragrance from the house of Terence Hughes? Remember, smelling good's always a pleasure and never a chore. I appreciate everybody's support. I love every single one of you. Stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.